guys, today I'm finally answering a question I get all the time. What clasp do I use for my peyote bracelets? This is a slide clasp, and in this tutorial I will show you exactly how to attach it to a peyote stitch bracelet. One quick note, slide clasps are actually made mainly for loom projects. Loom bracelets have a nice straight row of beads at the end, so the clasp just slides on perfectly. But peyote edges are a little different. They are kind of zigzag, so you don't have that one clean row right away. So before we attach the clasp, we just need to do a tiny adjustment, and then it works beautifully. So here's my peyote bracelet that I already finished. On this side, I already attached the slide clasp so you can see what the final result looks like. And now I will show you how to do the other side step by step. Also, make sure you leave yourself a nice little thread tail so you have something to work with. And by the way, if you're interested in this exact bracelet pattern, you can find it in my Etsy shop. To make everything super clear on camera, I'm going to use a totally different bead color now. And honestly, it doesn't matter at all because the beads we are adding right now will be hidden inside the slide clasp, so you won't see them in the finished bracelet. So yes, you can use any color you want. So I thread my needle. This is size 12 needle. Okay, so look at the edge of the peyote. You see those beads that stick out? On each of those sticking out beads, we need to sew on one extra bead. That creates a straight row that the clasp can slide onto. So first I need to get my needle to this bead, inside this bead. So I just pass through the beads like that. I pass my needle through the sticking out bead. I pick up one bead and I sew it right on top. Like this. And I repeat the exact same thing for every bead along the edge. Now, if you want to make the connection extra secure, you can also reinforce it by passing through that new bead a second time. I sometimes do that because I like it to feel a little more secure, but honestly, once is usually enough. So I continue to the next sticking out bead. Pick up another white bead and sew it right onto this blue bead. Like that. And the last one. Optional tip, if you are working on a really wide project, you can weave through all the new beads once at the end, just to line them up perfectly into one straight line. For a small bracelet like this, I usually don't bother, it's totally fine. Now I'm just going to secure the thread the way I always do. If you've seen my tutorials before, you know I don't use knots. I simply weave the thread through the beads back and forth a few times, kind of looping around one or two areas, and it holds really well. It's super secure, so you don't need to worry that it will start unraveling. And then you can just cut a thread. Now I take the slide clasp, I open it a little bit with my pliers, and I just slide it onto the new row I just created. Just like that. And I close the end. And yes, this works for both even-count peyote and odd-count peyote. No difference, you can use a slide clasp for both. Now, if you have a really wide bracelet and you don't have a slide clasp in the exact right size, don't worry, that happens a lot. I will show you a solution for that in another tutorial, so make sure you follow me and subscribe so you don't miss it. And before we finish, let me show you where I get mine. These ones I'm using right now are from AliExpress. I've had a really good experience with them. I've been using them for a long time and I haven't had issues with them tarnishing or causing some problems. And the biggest advantage is they come in so many sizes, which is honestly super helpful. But I also want to show you another option. This is a Miyuki slide clasp, and it's probably the most compatible option if you are using Miyuki Delica beads. As you can see, it's slimmer and more delicate, so it fits really snugly. It's basically made for Delicas. The downside is that it usually comes in fewer sizes, so that can be limiting, and of course, it's more expensive. So yeah, those are the two types I wanted to show you today. And that's it for today's tutorial. If you want, next time I will show you exactly what to do when your slide clasp size doesn't match your bracelet perfectly. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!